Hello, this is Brian Eastman joining you again from Sell.wmv. Wanted to take you today inside one of our houses so we could talk a little bit about interior finishes as it relates to selling a home quickly. What you'll find in all of our houses is that we use a lot of the finer materials that you would find in the houses that are a little bit more expensive than the house that you're actually in, and that gives it a feeling of solidity and lets the potential buyer know that they're buying a house that they're getting a very good value on. So we'll talk about a few of the finishes that we use in our own houses, and of course these are our standard finishes. They don't have to be your standard finishes, but we do like to choose items that would please to the masses, so to speak. So you want to offend the fewest people, and you want to show most of the people that your finishes are really top notch. So let's take a little bit of a look around this house, and we'll talk about several of the finishes that we use. So let's talk a little bit about hardwood floors. Hardwood floors are something that almost everyone loves. Doing carpet in a price range that's a little bit higher than the standard price range can be tricky. Some people don't like carpet, some people do. But hardwood floors, from what we found, seem to please to the masses. Now, the stain that we're currently using on our hardwood floors is something that's a little bit darker than what we used to use even 4 or 5 years back. We found that the majority of our buyers these days like a little bit darker stain. Now, don't take the stain so dark that it makes the room feel incredibly small, which can happen. The floors take in a lot of light, and the darker the room, the smaller it's going to feel. So we use a dark enough stain, but we also keep it somewhere on the lighter side of dark, just so that it doesn't drink up all the light from the entire room. Let's take a look at the floors. Now let's talk a little bit about the finishes that we use for our plumbing fixtures. What we found has worked and given us great results in the past are brushed nickel fixtures. We've been using those for about the past 3 or 4 years. Now again, that's something that we found that in our particular geographic area that most people seek out and look for and like. We also find that they match the stainless steel appliances that we put in every house beautifully. Now I do have someone that we work with out in Denver, Colorado who would disagree with me, and he claims that his clients prefer more the chrome fixtures. And I go back and forth on chrome. It's not my favorite, but again, it may be geographically specific as far as which clients prefer which finishes. You may want to take a look at the top selling homes in your area and the neighborhoods that you're working in, find out what other people are doing, and simply copy them. If they're using all brushed nickel, I would say use brushed nickel. That seems to be working well. If they're using all chrome, then hey, maybe chrome will work. And who knows, I may try chrome in the next one of our couple of houses coming up, just to show our friend out in Denver that we can do chrome as well. But again, from the standard for our last few years, brushed nickel has worked extremely well for us. The last item I wanted to talk about today was the use of color, be it trim or wall color on the interior. Now, with most of our interiors, we don't go too far outside of the box. And again, it's one of those things. When you find something that works, you tend to use it continually until for some reason it starts to not work. But the color that we use, and I'm going to go ahead and give you this, so you're going to want to write this down, is a Sherwin-Williams color. And the Sherwin-Williams code is 6141. It's also called Softer Tan. We found that Softer Tan really gives you the warmth that you need for an interior color, but it also is light enough to, again, continue to allow a lot of light inside. Like we talked about earlier with the floors, the walls are the same way. They drink up a lot of the light if they're darker walls. So a lighter wall makes the room feel larger, and again, that's what you're trying to do as far as selling a house. So it is imperative that you focus on wall colors that are a little bit lighter. Again, as you can see from our wall colors over here, it's basically an extremely light tan color, and we found that works very well. We also don't swap up too many of the colors in our houses. We like to keep it the same throughout as to not offend anyone. If I decided to paint the master bedroom, for example, a gray color, well, what if somebody doesn't like that gray color? With the lighter tan colors, I think you'll find that people at least realize that they don't have to do anything when they move in, and they can they're not going to have to do a bunch of coats of primer, etc. if they want to change the color down the road. So the lighter tan gives them a great palette to begin with, and most of the people we found over the last few years just continue to keep this particular color. May do an accent wall here or there, but again, that's up to them. That's not a decision you want to make for them. So thanks again for following us at sellfastforum.com. I hope those tips are great and that you're able to use those for the interior colors and trim part of the home. And feel free to use those colors and the same types of finishes that we use. I think you'll have very good results selling your home quickly by using those.